we have mini project. This mini project will have too much load. We have maybe 60%. I will see machamana and then I tell you how. But you have for the report itself and you have for the presentation. You need to present.
Okay.
Okay, so you prepare.
Present.
You prepare.
Present with team ke?
With team, okay, and one by one. I want one by one because it is individual. You cannot. You can select one topic. I give you many topics. You select one, and you look for materials from the internet, and then you make presentation.
So video can.
Video boleh? Video. You cannot come here. Tak boleh come here. So you need to present here. We see macam mana.
Need to present by video. By video.
By video here like team. You can make like team boleh.
Or only slide.
Slide. That
Presentation.
there is two things. One report about from 15 to 20 page. This is the report. And presentation.
Okay.
I see.
Okay. And big marks will go for that one.
What chapter?
No, you select one topic. I will give you the mini project. This will be week 10. Now we are week 5, right?
5. Week 5.
This week 5, I give you assignment. We have one more assignment, and after that we go for mini project. Maybe at the end, maybe. But if you start early, it is good for you because you can, when you have free time, you can prepare materials. Better for you, lah. So I will try to send you as soon as I can mini project topics, huh? And then you select from there. Okay.
Okay.
So for Muhammad Hazak not coming and Norlia not coming, try to explain to them if you know them, huh?
If possible, you can record our presentation tonight, sir.
Oh, then they can display anytime.
Yeah.
Yes, already record.
I am recording now. I am recording, but I don't know how to save. This is I don't know. There is some technical things. I am not.
You just stop. And then they will save automatically.
Automatically save. Okay, then
Yes.
tak ada masalah lah.
Yes.
Okay, today we go to chapter 4, inshallah. Okay.
All right.
Chapter 4, we're talking about water quality and water quality standards and wastewater treatment process. So we have chapter 1 and 2. I give you background about history of water supply in Malaysia, and chapter 2 and 3 problems and issues related to water supply in Malaysia, like for example flood, not utilize all resources, like there's somehow not mismanagement, but needs more infra to utilize water in very good way. Because as you know, in Canada, for example, water resources can make 80% of this of their electricity because they utilize in very good way. But in Malaysia, still on the way lah. So we have to. So because you have many water resources, like not like in our countries in Middle East, we have lack of water resources. But in Malaysia, alhamdulillah, you have too much. So if there is good utilization, then you can get many benefits from that. Is either in irrigation, or in industrial, or also in electric power generation. Okay, so we talk about that in chapter 1, 2, 3. Today we talk about quality. Okay. You follow me.
Okay.
You follow.
Yeah, follow.
Clear or not clear?
Clear.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, we continue. what is definition of water quality? What we mean by water quality? Water quality refers to the chemical, physical, and biological characteristics of water that tell whether water is polluted or not. So from these characteristics, we can tell this water suitable for human use, consumption, or no. I think you are not in chemical, you are not chemical background, so maybe difficult for you to understand. But inshallah, I will try to make it easy as much as I can. Huh? Okay.
Okay. All right. Inshallah.
Okay. This triangle shows complexity. It means that if you see the bottom here, this means easy to treat. If there is a waste, easy to treat, and the cost here is more cheaper. But if you go up here, we need high technology to remove, and the cost will be more higher. Okay, so maybe we need nanofiltration, we need membrane, we need if we have toxic metals, maybe we can use activated carbon, we can use also membrane, or maybe at our homes we have something called RO in the machine. We have a machine with 3 or 4 cartridge. You have filter at home for drinking water. Do you have machine? Do you have machine at home for drinking?
Yes.
So that machine.
Kowi.
Oh, okay. So that that machine, you will have 3 or 4 filters. Huh? One is to remove chlorine. Second, to remove like heavy metals, like whatever. And there is one more for bacteria and viruses. Now we have COVID.
Yes.
We have COVID-19.
Yes, virus.
So must be clean. Otherwise, will be masala. And finally, you will get there is something called RO, reverse osmosis, so that you will get very clean water.
Clean water, yes.
Yeah, but also to have, for example, clean water too much without minerals, it is not good sometimes for our bodies. So water must contain some essential minerals that we need in our bodies. For example, to drink distilled water, it is not recommended because it has no minerals. Also to use for irrigation, also not good because there is no minerals. So your crops will not be that healthy. Anyway, but when we are talking about heavy metals or contaminants, there is a range. Below this range, it is not good, and upper this range also not good. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So there is certain range which is very important to have. So we cannot say that all elements are toxic. We cannot say like that, but we can say that toxic if exceed the range. For example, I give you example. If we have iron is very important in our body, right? But if water contain too much iron, then it will be not good for our health. But also if contain very small amount that below our needs, it is also not good for our health. Why? Because some elements, some minerals, we cannot get from the food. We need to get from the drinking water. Okay.
Okay.
All right, we go to, so this triangle shows you that in the bottom easy to treat if you have waste. In the top it's difficult, and the cost here very cheap, but upper will be very high. Okay.
Okay.
All right. We go to next slide. what kind of parameters of water quality we have? We have different parameters. This I will just read the title, and you can read by yourself, huh? Because this is theory.
All right.
And if you have any question, you can ask through WhatsApp or through maybe our meeting during team meeting,
Team.
or also by telephone direct contact. You can contact me anytime. Tada masala.
Inshallah.
Okay. So water temperature is very important because when you throw your water to the open environment, we have to consider temperature. Conductivity, it means that ability to pass electrical current. It means that how many salts we have, dissolved ions. Okay. For dissolved oxygen, this is very important in marine life. For example, if dissolved oxygen in seawater is very low, it makes plankton and fish to die because there is not too much oxygen. Why became like that? Because sometimes if we have contaminants, we dispose to the sea and contains high nutrition. Bacteria eat that nutrition or nutrients. And that nutrients, when bacteria eat, it consume all oxygen in water. Once consume all in water, meaning that there is no oxygen left for what?
Assalamualaikum.
Alaikum salam, yeah. You are second late, but it's okay. You can, we recording, you can nanti study by yourself, huh?
Alright.
Okay, and this is more to theory. There is at the end of this chapter or next chapter, we have some problems we can solve together. Huh?
Yes.
Okay, so about dissolved oxygen, it is very important in marine life. We go to next slide about total suspended solid. This total suspended solids gives measure of turbidity. You know turbidity? You know what is the turbidity means?
Kandungan uap air dalam udara.
You know, for example, after rain come,
Yes.
then
Good, madam.
became brown color. That not because of water, because there are silt, because there is clay. So this makes turbidity.
Alright.
So for drinking, it's not good, but maybe for irrigation, tada masala.
Okay.
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 For total organic carbon, this organic carbon, for example, if we go to maybe industrial area, like for example, Kirte main business is
Oil and gas.
oil and gas. So there is waste. This waste, of course, they treat before they dispose. Most of this waste contains hydrocarbons.
Okay.
These hydrocarbons, if no treatment, go to the sea, then bacteria consume these hydrocarbons. And these hydrocarbons, once bacteria consume, it also use all oxygen in the water, dissolved oxygen.
Okay.
So if consume dissolved oxygen, meaning that nothing left for plankton and also for other species like fish.
Yes.
So you see sometimes in the TV they show there are problems some areas, too many fish die. The reason is contamination of these hydrocarbons, or also like phosphate, like nitrate, ammonia. This is very good food for bacteria. So when too much food available for bacteria, it means that became very healthy and consume all oxygen. And then make troubles for other marine species. Okay. We go to next slide. It is biochemical oxygen demand. This you can read, but this indication of how many bacteria, how many microorganisms in the waste.
Okay.
Usually food industry contains high BOD or biological or biochemical oxygen demand.
Okay.
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 For nitrogen, ammonia nitrate, this usually waste from fertilizers, from irrigation, from, for example, farms, cows, sheep, whatever. This produce too much nitrogen.
Nitrogen.
And this ammonia also. And this, promote growth of algae. And once algae growth then became a little bit problem. Algae is very good if in the sea bottom, it is very good because it produces oxygen. But in other areas, not good because it makes some pollution. Okay.
Okay.
We go to water treatment technologies for large scale. Here I will leave these slides for you to read, but I will go direct to procedure here.
Okay.
So if I have waste coming from, for example, suppose that from Chukai, from city, from town Chukai.
Kemaman.
So this go to the wastewater treatment plant, right? They don't throw to the sea or to the river, Tabule.
Why?
Must go to where? Waste
Treatment.
waste.
Utilities.
Yeah,
Centralized utilities.
wastewater treatment plant. We call it wastewater treatment plant. Okay. So in this wastewater treatment plant, start with screening. What screening do? Big particles like stone, like bottles, like plastic bags. All this will be taken by screening. Screening is like maybe I can show you. There is one slide. Screening. Like this one.
Filter.
This one is like filter, big filter. Yeah, not small filter, big filter. Because I want to take like stone, like bottle, drinking water bottle, like oil bottle, all this big scale.
Big scale.
A big scale filter. Huh? We call it screening. Okay. After that, go to aeration. What we mean by aeration? This means that there is a very big tank.
Okay.
Water go inside this tank, and they do pumping of air. Not air, not water, air.
Air.
And this air make aeration. What is the meaning of aeration? Meaning that bacteria in the presence of air or oxygen utilize contaminants and produce gases. So suppose that we have here hydrocarbons here, and I make aeration. This aeration, oxygen, mainly oxygen. Bacteria with oxygen can utilize hydrocarbons, produce gas, and then clean water will go. Okay. After that, if there is very small suspended solid, for example, you have a cup of water. If big size sediments, it will precipitate because of gravity, right? But if nano-sized particles will not precipitate. So what we need to make? We need to add chemicals. And this chemical will make something called coagulation.
What type of chemical?
Coagulation means that small particles will gather and become big particles so that it can precipitate. Okay. So all small particles will be removed by coagulation and flocculation, something called flocculation. Okay.
Population.
Okay.
After that, go to another tank, which is sedimentation. What we mean by sedimentation? Overflow from coagulation, go to another tank, and then all particle will precipitate down, and clean water will be up. Okay.
Okay.
And then go to another tank, clean water with filtration. After that, we make chlorination. What we mean by chlorination?
Put the
Chlorine.
chlorine.
We call it disinfection. We mean that
Disinfection.
we mean that if there is any bacteria or viruses or microorganisms will be killed by chlorination. Meaning
Okay.
that before goes to home or to the sea or to the river, it must be free from microorganisms.
Okay.
Just
Now we
small
have
amount of chlorine, sir.
this we use chlorine gas. Chlorine gas very easy to spread it inside water and kill all bacteria, all viruses, and then come clean. There are many different, not only chlorination. Maybe you can use ozone. Maybe you can use UV. UV, you know UV?
UV, yes. Ultra apa?
Ultraviolet. Betul.
Violet.
We use ultraviolet also can kill microorganisms. But chlorination is very cheap, yeah, compared to others. So people almost all over the world they use chlorination, nah? because of the cost.
Okay.
Okay. And then we go finally to something called supplementary treatment. What we mean by supplementary treatment? For example, iodine is needed in drinking water because if lack of iodine make problems human health. So we need to add some supplement. Understand?
Some supplement.
Nutrient.
Like not nutrient, some
Nutrition.
yes, some nutrition, yeah, because iodine is needed by our bodies, and most of the food doesn't contain iodine, so we need to add. This is by WHO. Some countries, their problems of kids problem, infant problems, because of
Okay.
iodine, they became here, you know, very big swollen.
Is that right?
You maybe in Malaysia you don't have, but in other countries they have many problems like that. And to solve this problem, we need to add iodine as supplement.
Okay.
But if the water already contain iodine, then no problem, no need to add. Huh?
Okay.
Like salt, you know salt, garam.
So okay.
Garam, sometimes we need to make also supplement. We need to add iodine to salt because
Natrium.
huh?
Natrium.
Natrium, yeah, betul. Ma in bahasa is garam.
Okay. Salt.
Betul,
Salt.
garam, salt.
Sodium.
Salt.
Mm.
That we make with our food.
Okay.
From where we take that salt, you know, from where? From where get that salt?
Salt.
Yeah,
Out.
from where? Mana? From where?
Ocean.
Sea.
From the sea. It could be
Seawater.
like it could be like rocks, you know. Beside this, a long time ago, it was sea. Now became like rocky area. But that rocky area, if it is contain iodine inside, because in the sea too much iodine, it is no need to add. But in some areas there is no, because it's very long time ago. So they need to add. This WHO recommend to add iodine for salt. In maybe in Malaysia no problem, but in other countries, in some areas it's needed. Okay.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Like
Here
Middle
we
East, sir?
like Middle East, yeah, maybe in Africa, yeah, in Middle East, some countries, yeah, betul.
Why
This,
why the water tastes like salt?
where, mana?
At Madinah.
Or because maybe too much salt. Because in Malaysia you see very clean water, right?
Uh-huh.
Madina, your country is
No, I am. My country is Yemen, not Medina. But
Yemen.
but I was there. I know what you mean.
Uh-huh.
Like for example,
Right.
Zamzam also. Zamzam is Rasulullah said that it is for what you drink. For example, if you are sick, then you will be recovered. When you take the taste, it is not very sweet, but it is very, you know, like medicine. We consider like medicine
Uh-huh.
because it has too much nutrition. I think it's not only maybe the bitter. It comes from magnesium. Too much magnesium there.
Where's the water supply come from?
I think in Medina comes from the sea. They make desalination. You know desalination.
I don't know.
From seawater, they take the salt
Mhm.
and then mix this like distilled water, very clean. They mix with underground water again.
Okay.
Why they mix with underground water? To get minerals, which is very important for our bodies. If you drink
Yes.
this, if you drink distilled water, not good for our bodies, lah, not healthy. You need some minerals, dalam. This is why if you have minimum drinking water and mineral water, you notice that mineral water is not sweet like minimum at all.
Yes.
Right or wrong?
Right.
Yes.
Minimum is
The
sweet.
mineral water feel more fresh.
You feel
Payau.
more, yeah, because many minerals inside, which is very important for our bodies, and the cost is a little bit mahal.
Yeah.
But the taste, of course, minimum or drinking water is much more sweeter. Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
Yeah.
Betul, right? Alhamdulillah. So here I will leave this for you to read. Aeration, what is aeration? What is the screening? Here, what is coagulation and flocculation? Okay.
Okay.
Right.
I already explained, but I think you can read from here to understand more. If you have any difficulties, you can ask me, no problem, by telephone anytime. WhatsApp, kada masala. Sedimentation here. This tank shows you how sedimentation occur. Okay.
Okay.
And then here finally go to this is big sedimentation tank here. You see how.
The final
And then,
station.
and then you go to filtration, and then after filtration we go to chlorination. Why? Wait, I want to go back. Okay, here chlorination. Okay.
Okay.
And then we go to supplementary treatment. I think here fluorine also. Okay. So sometimes we need to add iodine or fluorine because it's somehow very important for our bodies. But as I mentioned earlier, before you come, I think Norlia, you came before. I explained to them that when we talk about heavy metals, toxic metals, or whatever, we cannot say that everything is toxic. There is a range. If more than this range, will be toxic. If less than this, also not good for our health. So should be in the range. We have a range between. So this is okay. More not good, less not good.
Oh.
Okay.
In the middle.
There is a range. If you see in the internet, WHO or Malaysian standards, there is a range. For example, cadmium, or we take arsenic.
Okay.
If you
Arsenic.
have, for example, if you have in some countries 1 part per billion, very small amount, or 1 part per million, it's considered to be toxic.
I see.
But less than this, it is okay. It is allowable.
How about the
see.
ratio, sir?
Huh?
The ratio is around.
When we are talking about part per million, it is very, 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 very small amount. Okay, imagine that, for example, if you take 1 milligram of salt and dissolve in 1 liter drinking water, that will be 1 ppm, 1 part
ppm
per
part per
million.
million.
Meaning that, okay, if you take 1 milligram in 1 liter and you dissolve and you test, you can test anything. 1 milligram in 1 liter, very small amount, you cannot test.
Okay.
Not 1 gram, 1 milligram.
1 milligram.
1 milligram in 1 liter, that will be 1 ppm.
Okay.
Understand?
Yeah.
Understand, sir.
So when we are talking about toxic metal, heavy metals, or any other contaminants, we are talking about part per million. We don't talk about percentage. Percentage is very toxic, tabule.
Part per million is very small amount.
Very, 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 very minute, very small amount, very small. So we are talking about part per million, part per billion. For example, if mercury, you know mercury?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mercury is very toxic. So if you have very, very small amount, even part per billion, it is also considered to be very toxic.
Okay.
Understand?
Yes.
Understand.
Okay, bagus.
Bagus.
Management of waste from water treatment plants. This waste after treatment, actually, we have. I don't here because water supply in Malaysia, it is elective course. It is MPU. We don't go for details. Okay, but if we go for example, wastewater engineering, then we talk about preliminary treatment. We go for primary treatment, we go for secondary treatment, we go for tertiary treatment. So if we go for tertiary treatment, it means that this, after we remove all contaminants, all microorganisms, it can be used again for irrigation, for example.
Okay.
So it's in your case, we are just give you very, very, very brief about treatment method, but in other courses we go for details. Okay. By the way, if you want to see coagulation experiment, you can go to YouTube, my channel. You go there, and there is one by my son. You can see that experiment. It is about coagulation.
Okay.
Okay, you can see when you have time. You can watch if you like.
Okay.
Okay, number 3. Muhammad Hazak cannot come, huh? Muhammad Hazak may be busy. Okay, sustainability and resilience in water treatment. This is what we mean by sustainable. Your background is what? You are manufacturing or electric? What?
Manufacturing.
Manufacturing.
Electronic.
Electronic. Sustainability, it means that how to keep resources in very good condition so that we can utilize and regenerate. It means that if we have resources, we utilize in very good way, and if we can get benefit from this resources, we recycle it again and we continue using.
Okay.
So we get the minimum benefit from these resources. This we call it sustainability. Clear?
Yeah.
Clear.
Clear or not clear?
Clear.
For example, we have water resources. If we make treatment in very good way, then this water can be reused again.
Okay.
Maybe not for drinking, but for irrigation, for industrial, for maybe we can use.
Okay.
Maybe in cooling, for example, industrial, in cooling, we not mix with material, then it can be used. For irrigation also, if it is free from microorganisms, free from heavy metals, free from other, some waste actually, like if you have nitrate, nitrite, if you have phosphate, this consider also fertilizers. Even though it is a waste, it can be good for plants.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yes.
sustainability means that here there is meaning here, meaning that it can be maintained at it is best for a long time.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Uh, maybe this is I give you basic easy calculation how to calculate for example one city in like Chukai, how much needed per day.
Yes.
Okay, we go for easy example.
Okay.
This depends on, for example, if we are in big city, minimum water needed per day is 80 liter.
Per
If
day.
we are if we are per day, if we are in the capital, for example, like Kuala Lumpur, maybe we need 100 liter per day for each one.
One person.
Oh, for example, medium town around 50 liter. Small town maybe 40 liters. This depends on the country. If you are in Malaysia, if you are in Europe, if you are in Middle East, this will be different.
Depend on country.
Depends on the country, but WHO, they have like standards. They say that, for example, 50 liter a day, this is needed for every person, average. Okay. In Malaysia, I think you are using more because weather is very hot and water very cheap also compared to other countries. Water is very cheap. So we are utilizing too much water actually. But it's good because of COVID-19, we need to wash our hands every time, right?
Yes.
We need to wash our clothes every time. We need to be more cleaner, more, and this will help to remove COVID-19, inshallah.
Sir.
Sir,
Ah,
what happened to Kelantan?
By the way, Terengganu already hijau, ah?
Not sure.
Inshallah.
Green zone,
Okay.
green zone.
Sir, what about the you say 40 minimum quantity liters per person.
Yeah.
What about the baby? Is it sama?
We are talking about actually average, but baby maybe need more. But I think because baby wash 2-3 times a day, for example, need to wash his clothes, so maybe consume more because needs more care. Needs also if you give him milk, you need to wash his bottle many times. Betul?
Sir,
Yes.
And then his things. So you need more care. But this is just the average. It is not
Oh,
fixed.
average.
It
Okay.
is not fixed, but
Right.
they say like that. So based on it, for example, if I have in Chukai we have 100,000 people, can we calculate how much needed every day?
Not.
I think bole.
cannot. Yes, but
Bole.
need to.
If we have 100,000
Mm-hmm.
and Chukai is not a big city actually, it is somehow we can say it is large town.
30,000.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
30,000.
average 60 liter for one person, maybe. So if we multiply 100,000 by 60 liter, then we can calculate how much liter per day. But usually we don't count per liter, we count per meter cube. You know difference between meter cube and liter?
Don't know.
1 meter cube
Mm-hmm.
equal
One meter cube.
equal
What?
1,000 liter.
Okay.
1 meter cube equal 1,000 liter. Maybe I will give you example here. Can write here, mana show where I can write here. There is whiteboard, mana tada whiteboard tada. It's okay. We next time I show you macam we can calculate. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So here, for example, consider town with population of 60,000. Maybe like Kirte, huh? Kirte maybe, or you can say Mana 60, Chukai maybe more than 100, I think. Chukai is a little bit bigger. What would be the amount, minimum amount of water required? So we have average, we said that 60 liter, right?
Okay.
And we have 60,000.
Yes.
So if we multiply 60 liter by 60,000, I will get 3,600,000 liter, right?
Yes.
If I change this 2 liter, I need to divide by how much? I want to change to meter cube. I said that 1 meter cube equal 1,000 liter, right?
Divide 1,000.
Yes.
So I need to divide by 1,000. So I will get here 3,600 meter cube. Okay. All right, or difficult? We have 60 liter for one. We have 60,000 people. Total will be 3,600,000 liter. If I want to calculate in meter cube, I need to divide this amount by 1,000. I will get 3,600 meter cube.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
We go for another one. Okay, this is one thing here. There is one thing here. This is, we are talking about normal people, but if we are talking about school or hospital, do you think the needed water is the same or different?
Different.
In hospital,
Different.
you think same as homes or need more?
More.
Need more water.
Need more, betul. So here, this table show you how much needed. For example, if we are talking about health center, needs 135 per day for one person. Huh? If in the hospital, we need 340 because hospital people are sick, so he needs more care. Huh? If school
This table from WHO, sir.
from
This table. Is it fixed?
I cannot get your point.
Is this?
This table.
Yeah.
Is this table fixed for one person for health center hospital from WHO?
Yeah, somehow it is recommended by WHO for each one. If you are in homes, we said that from 60 to 100, right? But if we are talking about health center or hospital or school or office or restaurant, will be different.
That we can refer for this table.
So for example, now we give one example based on this table. For example, if people want to build hospital, this capacity of this hospital 1,000, for example. Okay. So how much needed for this hospital a day? So will not be like we are in our homes, will be more higher. We need to calculate based on 340 liter per day for one person. Understand?
Based how many hospital in that country?
Based on we will give one example to understand more. Huh?
Yes.
Don't worry about this. This is not a big problem. But I want you to know that water needed for different purposes, not the same. If we are using at home, will not be same as hospital, will not be same as school.
Okay.
Maybe in university, in Tati, you are living here, you have hostel here, all of you here, but nowadays because of COVID, you are not here. Maybe you use maybe about, I think from 50 to 60, because I think around that. But if you are just coming here for study only and go balik your home, then consumption will be less. Betul.
Yes.
Like here, day school only will be very less because only when they are at school and they go home for makan, for mandi, for whatever. So maybe this is only for salah, for you know, for
Motion.
toilet, for this. So it is here. You see, this is minimum. But in the hospital, people are patient and they cannot need special care, special. Maybe they need to change their what you call it, coverage, bed cover, uh, their baju, their clothes. They need to change maybe 2-3 times a day. They need to for them also, and so they need more care and more water consumption will be there. Okay.
Betul,
We
betul.
go to see one example here. This is very good example to make you understand. Here, water provision for small town. Imagine a town with a population of 5,000 people and health center that treats 100 people a day. So we have 5,000 people and 100 people a day. Okay. The
Sir,
minimum water. Yeah.
what happen uh if what they more than water, more people than water?
More people than water, like in Middle East in our country, huh? You mean there is
Betul.
shortage of water, like sometimes in Selangor,
I mean,
Not enough liter.
like in Selangor sometimes, right?
For consumption.
Yes.
Yes, Kelantan.
Kelantan also ada masalah.
Yeah.
Kelantan.
Some area.
Anyway, in this case, what we need is just we try to minimize the consumption. We have to take care of the consumption.
What happened?
I cannot hear you. Can you talk one more time? Yeah, Haider.
Hasif.
Hasif, yeah, Hasif. Okay, Hasif.
Missing.
Hello, yes.
Because we are talking both here.
I listen, but
Okay.
my line my line slow
Okay.
sometimes.
What is your question about if there is shortage of water, right?
Yes, the water in Kelantan.
Yeah.
Is
So
there because of too many people use, or they don't have any maintenance, or what?
oh, that is maybe it goes to mismanagement. I think more to mismanagement. This is in chapter 2 and chapter 3. We talk about that issues. You remember? You read that slides or no?
Yes.
If you read, we mention all that kind of problems. So we mention that sometimes mismanagement, sometimes also not mismanagement because of the natural disaster. For example, flood is coming.
Yes.
And water became contaminated. So they cannot
Yes.
provide all people with the clean water.
So they close lah.
So they close. So they need to treat more. Sometimes the infra of water supply also damaged because of flood.
Okay.
So in this case also there will be shortage of water. So I think Malaysia in general, my thinking that there is no shortage of water, but needs more like infra construction, more
okay.
good
Yes.
management, more. So that will be done step by step, inshallah. With future, will be everything okay. I think in Chukai, five years ago and now, situation became much more better because they built some infra to prevent flooding, and nowadays we don't face too much problems in Chukai. Compared to 5 years ago, it was big problem. or 10 years ago. So day by day, infra will be
Yes.
improved,
Yes.
and less water shortage will be, inshallah, solved. And I think in Selangor is more severe because population is very big,
Yes.
and I think they need to bring water from very far distance. So they need, it's more to how to utilize water resources in very good way. Maybe you refer back to chapter 2 and 3. We mention all those problems. Try to read, huh?
Okay, sir.
I already assignment 1. I already upload. You see
Okay.
assignment. Okay, you already found, huh?
Which
I already put. I already download for you in the team. You can check, huh?
okay.
Okay, so one thing is, some of you maybe internet fees very expensive, so we'll not make every week or every, but today just because special case about these things about wastewater treatment, and I will make some record in YouTube also. You can refer anytime,
Okay.
Sure.
and plus also if you have any problems with solving or any issue you want to ask, you can ask me through WhatsApp or direct contact by telephone. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Hopefully you understand this course and you get very good knowledge from this. Especially we are talking about water resources in Malaysia, water supply in
Yes.
Malaysia, which is very important for you.
Yeah, inshallah.
Sir.
Like last time, Nurlia, she
Yeah.
asked about, she talked about big lake in Terengganu, the biggest in this area.
Yeah.
I
Just
think you are
yeah.
right. I think you are right. So if there is 100% utilization of this, maybe all Terengganu can get water, electric supply,
Mhm.
and also drinking water. Of course, we already get in Terengganu. Tada masala with drinking water, no problem at all, right?
Mhm.
But electricity can be modified and can get, the maximum. You can get maybe all Terengganu can get water from water or hydro power. We call it hydro power.
Okay.
So maybe you can make your project if you want to make project about this also, Boleh. We talk about project, how to make your project will be from 15 to 20 page.
Mhm.
You write a report and there is presentation. You need to make
Okay.
also PowerPoint slides and then we discuss
Okay.
together.
Alright.
I already put some topics. This will be week 10 because now we are still week 5.
Yeah.
So still we have time. But if I put the assignment or mini project now, till week 10 or 11, you can from now prepare materials because you have too much time and you can, you can
Yes.
utilize, you can use time in very good way.
Okay.
If I give you week 10, maybe will be not too much time for you.
Yeah.
So from now, I think better to start, huh?
Yes.
So I will maybe tomorrow or
Slow.
day after tomorrow, I will put also a mini project in the
Mm.
in the team, and you
Okay.
can download and select one topic. Uh, I put some topics, but you can also use your own topic also, Bole.
Okay.
And I
What,
will
sir?
I selected some topics for you
Mhm.
to choose. But
Okay.
Okay.
if you feel you have better topic, also you can, Bole.
Have to show you first, ah.
Show me, send me
Alright.
the title,
All right.
Okay.
Bole, no problem.
Okay.
Hopefully all of you will get A, inshallah, in this subject because it's very easy and theory, and it is
Okay,
about
sir.
your
Inshallah.
your
Thanks.
Inshallah, sir.
uh
With your help.
Okay, we go to see this. This is will be the final. After that will be theory about definition. What is the coagulation? What is? But this will be problem. How to solve this problem? Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
So we
sir.
have 40 liter a day for 5,000. How much we will get?
200,000.
200,000 liters. Or if
200,000
we
liters.
divide,
200 meter cube.
by 1,000, will be 200 meter cube.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Here, if we for health center, we said how much we have health center here.
135.
135.
How many people we have? Treat 100 people, right? So will be 135 multiplied by 100 will be 13,500 liter. Or if we divide by 1,000 will be 13.5.
Yes.
So total will be 200 plus 13.5 will get 213.5 meter cube.
Yes.
So if I assume, because before it reach houses, there is sometimes maintenance problem like leakage. So I will assume that there is 15% leakage. Understand?
Understand?
So I need to multiply this amount by 1.15. I will get 245.5 meter cube. Or I can make it 246 meter cube. Okay. If I want to design my big tank, I don't design for 246 meter cube. I need to make 1.5 bigger for the tank, you know.
Okay.
So I multiply this amount by 1.5. So this will be the tank capacity.
246.
Or 370.
370.
Okay. Easy calculation or difficult? This is very
Easy.
easy. No problem, because from the table you select the what you call it, the utilities. For example, if you have school, if you have hospital, if you have homes, then you select from there, and then you based on that you calculate. And finally, to build up your tank or reservoir, we call it reservoir, then you need to multiply the total amount after leakage. 1.15 you multiply by 1.5 total, you will get the capacity of the tank.
Okay.
All right.
The balance.
Right.
Not the balance. You need to pump extra water, so that will be enough.
So,
Yeah.
how many apa ni? How many meter cube each taman? Contoh katakan taman. Yes. Taman Sri Kalung. There is one. Each taman ada tangki,
Each
right?
area.
Tank.
Big tank.
Big tank. I mean, is it
Main supply.
look at to the apa tu, penduduk ke ataupun sama je every taman di Kemaman ni contohnya?
Not sama, because from one place to another is different. For example, here you see in Tati, if you go to Kijal, there is in your right hand there is a big tank, right?
Okay.
You saw or no?
In Tati?
No.
Yes.
When you go out from Tati, you go Kijal.
Okay.
In your right, there is a big tank there.
Okay.
Concrete.
Okay.
Have you seen that or no?
Yes. How many meter cube?
So how many meter cube you can calculate very easy. You know the diameter?
Don't know.
Diameter maybe 5. For example, suppose that it is 5 meter, okay?
Okay.
5 meter. And height is maybe 10 meter.
Okay.
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 So can you calculate the volume? Diameter is 5 meter. Height is 10 meter. How much is the volume?
Times.
V
50.
equal 4/3. How to calculate the volume of the this will be like cylinder, right? Cylinder,
YJ.
how? Huh? V
T over 4.
Huh?
Pi. Three per part.
It is okay.
Pi.
Okay,
Pi.
we calculate the area dulu.
Pi
Area
H. Pi H. Pi H
Okay.
out.
will
Pi
be
H.
pi r
3 per
square,
4 pi
right?
H.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
volume will be pi r square multiplied by L, length. Betul?
Betul.
I don't have here to write. I can write for you, but I don't know where to write. Very sorry for.
Ulang, sir.
I want to
Sorry.
write for you, but okay, I will write here. Maybe in where is chat?
Next meeting.
Here I can write here. I think I can write for you here.
You tell me,
I
sir.
can write V
Area.
equal
E equal. No,
V
tak dengar, sir.
pi r
I
square multiply by length.
Length, okay.
Like this, right?
Y R equals to L, okay.
Betul. So here r will be 2.5 because diameter 5 meter, right?
Okay.
So will be pi multiplied by 2.5 square multiplied by 10 meter. So you will get 3 point. Okay, I can calculate for you. 3.14 multiplied by 2.5 multiplied by 2.5 equal multiplied by 10. So you will get about 200 meter cube.
166. 196.
Yeah, well, but we can say that it is
200.
around 200 meter cube. Huh?
Okay.
So 200 meter cube. Now, for example, we said that this will be how much liter? If we want to change to liter, will be 200,000 liter, right?
200,000, yes.
Betul.
Betul.
Times 1,000.
So if 30 UC, we have 2,000, huh?
Yes.
So 200,000 divided by 2,000, 100 liter. I think very good, right?
Yes.
But I think it is bigger, not just this. Maybe diameter is 10 meter. And but when you go from Tati outside, go to Kijal, you can estimate. So this is goes to Tati and maybe neighboring area, not only Tati.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we have small houses beside Tati, right?
Yes.
So that will be maybe around 300 meter cube to 400 meter cube a day. I think more than enough, huh?
Yes.
Okay. Next slide will be about some definition. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I will leave this one for you to read because this is theory, no problem. And here, self-assessment questions, meaning that in your final, I will give multiple choice questions. You know multiple choice question?
ABC.
A, B, C, D.
Okay.
And from A, B, C, D, you select one.
All right.
So I will, this definition here, for example, what is the meaning defluoridation? What is the meaning of sustainable? What is the meaning of water utility? What is the meaning of coarse screen? Coagulant. And there are coagulation, sedimentation, filtration. Okay? So there are many definitions. This you can memorize. Very important for you to memorize. Okay?
20 questions, sir.
Assignment will be questions. You answer the questions.
No, I mean 20 How many question for multiple choice?
Maybe 50 or 60 something. Usually like that. MPU between 50 to 60, right? You have taken MPU
all-
subject or no?
Only objective.
Second. Only yeah.
How
All
many?
Objective
multiple
or
choice.
It is multiple choice. Will be not subjective. Will be objective. You select only A or
objective?
B or C or D, either one.
Alright.
But
Okay.
it is very tricky. So be careful, huh?
Yes.
Of course, I will show you before Machamana it comes. I will not give you the same, but similar, so you understand how.
Mhm.
If you study,
tricky lah, sir.
if you study theory, inshallah tada masala, no problem at all.
Okay. All
Okay.
topic ah.
Huh?
All topic. Masuk lah.
Final will be all topics because we have to include all.
Okay.
But for
to
your information,
read more.
mini project
Hmm?
will be too much mark for mini project. So try to spend more time with the mini project
Okay.
in writing and also in
Okay.
presentation.
Right.
When you present, I assume that I don't know anything. So you explain to me from A to Z.
Okay.
And,
Alright, sir.
and take topic that you like. I don't force you to take anything you don't like.
Okay.
You take things that
Example topic.
I will send you the mini project under our mini. But if you don't like this, you can also select another thing. Okay.
Okay.
So I give you
Alright,
option.
sir.
I give you option.
Alright.
Like for example, one of the example, contaminated water coming from hydrocarbon industry, for example. So how to treat, how to, what is the effect on human? You recommend the treatment method, like that. So you select by yourself.
Okay.
All right.
Alright.
So inshallah, no problem. You select the thing you like. This is why I'm saying I will not force you to select things that
Okay.
I make for you, but I give you the chance to select the topic you like more.
Okay.
And you feel that you can contribute more. You can make something very good.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So this one, from the previous slides, I already upload this file in material for water supply in Malaysia. You can download from there. Huh?
Okay.
All those slides I talk about now. Huh? If you cannot, you tell me. I will send through WhatsApp.
Yes.
Okay.
Alright.
All right. Here, this is the seven procedure for how to clean waste. Raw water coming, go for screening, aeration, coagulation, sedimentation, finally supplementary. Okay.
Alright.
Okay. I think this is the definition. Step 1, what? Step 2, step 3, step 4. Okay. And then finally, some question to know that you understand or no, so you can read and see it is logical or no. If you have problem, you contact me. And then finally, Mr. Zul, someone asked him to recommend water supply capacity for reservoir, how much needed. And answer is here also for you to read.
Okay.
You go step by step. Huh?
Yes.
If you have any problem, kalau ada masalah, you contact me, no problem. Huh?
Okay.
Okay.
And then this is the end of chapter 4. Hopefully, everything is okay, and
Yes.
you understand about chapter 4. If you have any question, I will receive your question.
Yes.
Any question from chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4? Any question about those 4 chapters you can ask.
Sir,
Yeah,
Sir.
about the mini project,
yeah.
we can elaborate from the water using in the Kerteh also can.
In Kirte,
Mhm.
for example, treatment of waste from Kirte, and then you go for that.
From the utility plant,
Boleh, tak ada masalah. It's very good.
start from the raw water, come and we process the
Your
water.
friend is calling. Okay, let me answer your friend.
Very good,
Assalamualaikum.
Hada.
Assalamualaikum. Ya, Waalaikumsalam. Yeah.
Tak tahu nak buat apa.
Yeah, Hakim. One thing is, I record this presentation for you.
Selamat Hari Raya dah.
You can go, huh?
Merry morning, kaki goya.
Awak balik kerja?
Okay, Hakim.
Apa puan?
Awak balik kerja? Dah.
No. Invention and innovation
kerja
will be
ni.
if I'm mistaken, on Wednesday.
Work from home.
We make it from 9. Invention and innovation from 9, huh?
Sih.
Wednesday.
Apa dia?
Asyik Pak ke?
Apa dia puan? Puan, saya tak buat lagi soalan. Ada Terengganu.
Okay, I will add you. Okay.
Eh, cool.
Give me your matric number. I will add you, inshallah.
Dah submit ke kelas?
Belum ni.
Okay.
Esok awak.
No problem.
Kelas saya selesai.
Oh, I add you
Kelas
to wrong group. Okay. I
Last
will add
submit
you
hari
again to
Selasa.
Ya.
invention and innovation. Okay.
Dah siap dah separuh.
Okay. Assalamualaikum.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. You have from Kirte. You want to take one contaminants and you want to make treatment from A to Z and talk about your health, process, all these things. Boleh? Tak ada masalah?
From the raw water, we process and until to using.
Boleh, no problem. But make your slides very clear. Your report also very clear, because you have two
Sure.
things. You have report and you have slides. Slides you will present.
What about the picture?
A picture also boleh, because presentation needs picture, photos. For example, not in the report. Maybe in the report you can put some, but in the PowerPoint you put to clarify.
Okay.
And try to make your slides, not you write font, you make font all the page, so that will be clear. Not to make very small font cannot be seen. Understand?
Okay.
Try to make good presentation, inshallah, no problem.
InsyaAllah.
How long the presentation, sir?
Maybe from 15 to 20 minutes, okay.
Alright, sir.
For example, you
this
are,
one lah.
you are 4 students, I will make 1 hour for you, all of you.
Alright, sir.
That will be week 11 or 12. But I will give you the materials from now to start. It is good for you because you have time.
Right.
Okay, sir. Note.
Okay.
Okay?
Alright,
sir.
Alright,
sir.
sir.
Boleh,
Okay.
inshallah. Any other questions?
No.
Tada?
Alright, sir. Sir, I want to ask you.
Ah.
I already add the Haziq. Who is that?
Maybe he is in another group. Very sorry. Maybe I think he's Hakim. He's in another group.
I
But it's
already
okay.
add him.
But you're not coming.
Okay,
I did a mistake
sir.
actually. He is in another group, not here.
Oh,
It's okay. I will. You are only three of you.
Okay.
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 Any other question?
No.
Tada.
No.
Tak ada.
All right. So have a good night and see you inshallah. Maybe not within 1 week, 2 weeks, because I think you also access of internet for you sometimes سكت مسألة because of fees and talk. Is
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, sir.
It's okay for you. For me, I don't mind, no problem. But I think it's up to you. When you are free, you just tell me, okay?
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
sir. No problem, sir.
But materials, I want to make sure that materials, you get all materials and you study all materials, all topics, all syllabus will be there.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, sir.
Right, sir.
I
Thank you,
already
sir.
sent you chapter 1, 2, 3, 4 today, and we have 2 more chapters.
Alright.
Alright.
Okay? So
Okay, sir.
maybe after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we will finish and then we go for review and your project. Okay?
Okay.
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 Assalamu
Thank
alaikum warahmatullah.
Thank you, sir.
Jazakallah, sir.
Selamat hari raya, sir.
Okay, sir.